There's like 10 to 15 people that are getting honored as Men of the Year, including Benny and I. But we're one, so it takes one gay guy and one bi girl to be a Man of the Year.
Is that it?
Yeah,
that's something I've always
That's
said.
the math that we figured out.
Yeah. Welcome to Before the Lights. If you're new here, we're a team of health professionals based in London who train people from all over the creative world to get ready for TV, film, even live shows, but most importantly, for everyday life. I'm Dave Hasty.
I'm George Ashwell.
I'm Georgia Canavan.
And I'm Josh Betteridge.
We've been lucky enough to build a pretty special group of members here at the club, so we thought it would be nice for other people to get to know some of them as well as we do.
I was like, I think I need to start going to the gym. So I literally got out my laptop, and was like, PTs for actors.
Welcome to Before the Lights podcast, guys. I'm Greg James. With me over here is Dangerous Dave, and here is Evil George. And today we're talking grind set.
Grind set?
It's not about mindset, guys. It's about grind set.
It was the very first time I met you when you came in and you actually had to run off and be sick in the toilet.
You feel quite vulnerable when you're kind of lying on your back with your legs up in the air because you feel sick. Just breathing, and I'm like, this never happens. I'm so sorry.
So sit back, only do some exercise if you want to, and maybe even learn something about how to look after yourself. Welcome back to the Before the Lights podcast.
Hey.
Today I've got George with me.
How are you? Yes, I'm good.
What have you been doing?
I've been away. I haven't seen each other for like 2 weeks.
It is, yeah.
Which is very rare for us.
Never happens.
No. I've been away, still on the same project I think I spoke about in the last thing that's going for another 3 months.
To be fair, it's going on for a while, this thing, isn't it?
Yeah. So it happens when you do TV shows instead of films. Used to doing films, and now TV shows go on forever.
They go and go and go.
Yeah. George lives in Ireland now, basically.
You're
But
bi-coastal.
Josh is there now.
He is. He's covering for me.
Yeah.
He rang me about 9 times this morning on the way there. It's quite entertaining. He's like,
Has he moved into your room and it's the same bed,
all
the
of my
same
stuff
sheets,
is there,
all your things are there?
I actually left him a HDMI cable so he could watch stuff on the TV, which I thought was a very
That's
thoughtful thing.
thoughtful.
Yeah, and my Nintendo Switch that I haven't played since I moved there. But I
And
just
all your
keep
dirty
leaving
clothes.
Yeah, and all my dirty clothes. He has to do my washing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sadly, this isn't the actual topic of the podcast.
I want to hear more, though.
No,
It's
not
quite
that.
wholesome content, though,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah. Just, one in, one out policy. It's nice. We are joined by Mary-Beth Barone.
We are.
Wow.
Woo.
This has been years in the making. I
It
feel
really
like.
has.
It's-
It
but
has,
I-
actually. We've talked about it for a long time.
Yeah. But I'm not here that much, and you guys are so busy. It's like, if we didn't do it today, we weren't going to be able to do it, because you're leaving too.
Yeah, Dave's going to
told.
Ireland to do the other cover.
Yeah, only for a week, though.
Yeah.
I would have come back.
He would have come back,
would've
whereas
come
you
back.
might not.
I won't be here.
No. fair.
I'm here for one
Yeah,
week.
you're more. I'd
One
say
week
you're more
only.
the problem.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
But we're here to sort of squash the beef.
Squash the beef. There's
yeah.
no beef. No, we're fine.
Yeah,
That's
this
fine.
is just be really edgy throughout. Short answers, just firing stuff off. I'll do a little intro because I think our listeners will know you as a stand-up. Was that first? Would you always call yourself a stand-up?
Yeah,
first and
stand up
foremost?
first.
Always.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And an actor second.
Yes.
And
Actually, if we're gonna get into it,
I think
stand up
something-
first, writer second, actor third.
Yeah.
There we go.
Podcaster.
Podcaster's not on there.
No.
We don't talk about the podcast.
Yeah,
No, I love our podcast. I don't love being a podcaster just
No.
because of the implications
The
of that.
connotations.
Yeah.
Neither do we. We're definitely not. In fact, we're quite obviously not podcasters because we're
No.
terrible at it. But
it clearly isn't a real job, is it?
Well,
I mean, it is for you.
it's complicated. I have a complicated relationship with podcasting, but that said, it's good to be here.
and you're you're good at it.
Yeah. Well, apparently.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
You've been a very busy woman of late, and I think our listeners, a lot of people know you from Overcompensating, which is just absolutely blown up, isn't it?
We were so overwhelmed with the response. It was really more than we ever thought it could be, and it was cool because they released it worldwide all at once. So it was in 270 countries, and it's been a crazy year for sure. And it's good to have it out because I've been involved just as Benny's friend in the project for a long time. And then I got added as a writer on the show, and then I got cast in the show. So it was just really cool to watch it go from this one script to an 8-episode show. And then for people to like it, I mean, that was just the icing.
Amazing.
Was
cherry on
there a
top.
point where you thought, okay, I can get myself more jobs here? And you went, oh, I'm a writer.
All of the things
I'm
I
gonna
do,
write-
I could do.
I'm going to write myself
I
apart.
thought maybe I could be a grip as well. Just double dip while I'm on set, costume designer, director. Yeah, you just try to see how many hats you can wear on
You
set.
can come
They
and
love
do my
that.
job on set as well if you want.
I was
Yeah.
just bossing actors around,
Yeah,
please.
just
Well, I don't know, because you were here to train today and you didn't actually turn up.
So what happened was
And that doesn't, that
No, that
tends
is- that
to
is
not
not-
go well
not Mary-Beth
when
as
you're
well.
the trainer.
But
If you're
that's-
working with the actors and you don't
Yeah.
turn up, it doesn't.
that's
work
never
out that
happened before. This is
It
the
hasn't.
first time
No, that
that's
was the
ever
first time.
happened. I just flew in yesterday on an overnight flight. I know everyone's feeling really bad for me right now. And I just had I had big goals for today. But I did wake up at 4 and I was up for 3 hours. And even in that time, I thought, I wish I could just shift that to normal hours and be like awake. But I don't know. I had this feeling I was going to oversleep. And then that's exactly what happened.
We won't hold it against you
Thank you.
because I think that you've proven that you were trying.
I'm not blacklisted from the gym,
And you
thankfully.
turned up in time for this. for
And
your
I'll be
second
here tomorrow at
appointment
9 in
of
the
day.
morning
Yes, you will.
to make up for it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, we'll move past it. We'll move
Thank
past
One
you.
strike.
thank you.
it. You are in town. So you mentioned Benny. We'll use his full name.
I basically bring him up as much as possible.
Yeah. So it's Benito Skinner,
Benito
which
Skinner.
a lot of people know him as and also a stand-up,
Yeah,
An
we
actor?
met doing stand up.
a writer.
Hmm.
In what order does he go?
Oh my gosh. I would say total sweetie pie is first.
Can testify to that being true.
Second would be probably actor, third writer. I don't know if he really identifies as a stand up anymore because he's not performing live, but that was definitely on the list for a while,
Yeah.
thankfully.
And you guys are in town. You can talk about why you're in town because it'll
Yeah.
be. When is it?
It's tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah, so this will be out.
The
It will
day
have
after.
happened.
Yeah.
It will have
Thank you for
just
squeezing this in. Then
It's
Yeah.
of course
such a busy schedule.
No, I'm happy to be here, and yeah, it's just good to like practice talking, and being like off the cuff.
So you're going to be in front of how many? Do you know how many people?
It's 130 people at the dinner for
Where is
GQ
it?
Man of the Year. It's at the Strand,
Wow.
and we have to do like a monologue up top. And so we submitted it yesterday. GQ, they told us to be cheeky, and we're gonna really deliver on that.
Good. Can't
We've
wait.
got a Prince Andrew joke. We have some jokes about
Nice.
all the people that are being honored, and we're not. I mean, we make fun of ourselves a lot too because we're not really like roast comics, but
No.
I think we'll have some fun.
Is that something they're looking for? Because in America, that is such a
The monologue at the beginning of award show.
But-
is
but
a
like the
huge
roasting thing.
and the roasting.
because
thing as
that's
well.
not really a thing here, is it? It's
No,
like
you get punched if you start roasting
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, we're hopefully not going to have any
weird.
physical assault
No,
tomorrow.
I'm sure you
Will
won't.
Smith's not going to be there. So.
No,
exactly.
no, thankfully.
safe.
But I would happily make a joke about the slap if he was. It's time we talk about it.
Yeah, it really is.
We need to stop avoiding that topic.
Well, you got talked about a lot right at the beginning, and then it seems to have gone dead.
This
Now
is the
people wanna
perfect
forget
forum for it now.
Yeah, just talk about the slap and
Yeah.
If Benny and I did get slapped tomorrow, it would go so viral
And
though.
also, you talk about it a lot more afterwards. Like, it would-
I
yeah.
mean, it
Would
would
you
be all the
slap him
headlines.
in order for that moment to happen, or is that
he's too
that-
much of a total.
He's my
sweetie
boss
pie.
in a way, so I don't think I would slap. I wouldn't assault my boss.
He was a little bit rude about you here when you weren't here.
I'm
was
sure I know
actually
exactly
today,
what
yeah.
he said, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're like siblings, so and we play siblings on TV.
Doesn't
Very
warrant a
easy
slap.
to slip into that, but I don't think we would slap each other. We'll see who gets slapped tomorrow.
Sounds like a threat. It really does sound
We'll
like a
see.
threat.
I won't be doing the slapping.
Right.
I slapped someone once in college, and I will say it felt good, but I don't think you're supposed to
I've
do
never
it.
slapped anyone, but I have defended Josh Betteridge after he was slapped by a bouncer in Melbourne. That was
good.
That was.
What
I
did
didn't.
you-
I didn't see it happen.
Why did he get slapped?
Because he's just really mouthy, isn't he?
Yeah.
It was
I've
like-
always known that about him.
I heard it
That's why
happen.
he's not here today.
I
You might have
heard it.
slapped him.
Heard it.
You
happen.
heard the slap?
Yeah, I was walking away from a situation which he'd probably done something and aggravated something, and then there was
Victim
this,
blaming,
There was
I
a
love
full.
it.
There was this full. No, it's not. He's not a victim. There was a full like that, and then someone else because Josh told me he'd been slapped, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And then this other guy who we
There was
didn't
a
know was like,
witness.
no, he just got slapped.
Damn.
So then I had to step in and defend him like any best friend would.
What did you do? What did that look like?
I genuinely thought I was about to get the shit kicked out of me because there was this guy. He clearly just lost his mind. We've gone so far off piste here, but
This is what's so beautiful
Yeah.
about conversation.
yeah, it's great. It's also a very interesting story, and it was part of his best man speech,
Okay, of course.
which it was
Yeah.
good content then,
Mhm.
and it still is now.
Mhm.
I was then looking at this guy, absolute giant of a man, took off, the bouncer kind of armband thing that they wear, threw it on the floor, and I was like, this is the moment when we get the shit kicked out of us properly.
Mhm.
But there must have been cameras because then all his bouncer friends came
And they were like,
And
it's
took
not
him
worth
back
it,
in.
dude.
But also,
At which point Josh snapped back into being like, yeah.
yeah, of course he did. But also, like, that move is such a weird thing to do. Like, I'm going to take off my badge so you know I'm serious. Like, it's an invisibility cloak for being able to beat people up.
Well, it's like when women take their earrings out.
Yes,
It's
like,
like
okay,
I'm ready.
Rings come off.
Mhm.
I'm fuck you up.
I'd mentally prepared for it. I was like, right, I've stepped in to defend him. This is going to happen.
Gonna have a broken
So
nose
I'm
tomorrow.
going to have to just go with it. But
would-
luckily, someone else intervened.
Yeah, I would probably not be so brave to do that. I don't want to get my face punched.
Well, hopefully, if there was a slap on stage at the GQ Awards, it wouldn't get to that point.
No, no bouncers there.
The
No
bouncer
security.
runs on, takes his
Takes his
armband
thing
off.
off.
Yeah.
Game over.
We're fending for ourselves tomorrow.
Yeah,
So.
I think you'll be fine. I think you'll be
Thanks.
safe. And I think you do a great job as
Thank
well.
you.
Taking a huge turn back on track.
On to what we're here to talk about.
Yeah. For people that haven't watched the show,
Mhm.
first of all,
Homophobic.
shame. For homophobic,
Absolutely.
shame on them
Yeah.
for that.
Mhm.
Can you give us a bit of context as to what it is and just what it is?
Yeah, so it's a comedy. It's a half-hour comedy, single camera, and it's about Benny. It's semi-autobiographical. So Benny plays a character named Benny. So took a huge leap there.
He did.
And he is a closeted sort of like high school football player. He goes off to college where his sister has been there for already 2 years. She's in her junior year, so I guess it's her third year,
Which is you.
which is me. I play a sister.
Again, that's really difficult for you guys
To sort of snap into that. We had a lot of acting coaching for that. And I'm blonde in the show, so if you see me right now and you're like, wait, that doesn't look like the girl, it's because I had different hair. And so it's about him trying to navigate being closeted and what are the expectations of like, a cis straight male in a college environment. And it's an ensemble. So Wally Barham is also in the show, Adam DeMarco, Holmes, and Corchion Moore, Owen Thiel. It's like such a wonderful cast, all very funny. And yeah, it's funny, but it's also very heartfelt, which I think a lot of people weren't expecting from the show. But I think we had a lot of fun, like finding the balance there.
Yeah, I thought it was really good for that reason. Because it kind of like, every episode's funny.
Yeah.
But there's some quite serious topics in there.
Yeah.
But it does it really well. I just one of those shows that I think like everybody would enjoy watching it.
Well, thank
I don't
you.
think it's one where it's like we kind of talked about it a little bit off before we started recording. There's
Yeah.
certain shows where like you'll sit with your partner and one's
And you're
like,
like, ooh. Yeah.
And I watched it with my wife and I was like, we were both like, this is good. This is
Well,
actually-
there's butt, boobs, and penis in it.
Well, there you
so
go. So it
we're
covers
covering
all
all of our
bases.
bases.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
what's
that's just
not
Benny.
Well, that is just Benny. What's not to like?
Yeah.
But no, I think people also were surprised by the accessibility because it's really like critiquing just society in general and the expectations for people, not just like skewering one group of people. So I think that's also fun to write. We're in the writer's room for season 2 right now. So that's what I'm staying here
very
after.
exciting.
And I'm taking up one of your conference rooms
Well,
to be on the Zoom.
that's a fair exchange. You've given us.
Well, you're
some
also
time.
paying me $100,000
We are,
to do
yeah.
this.
No, what we do is we give you a free training session beforehand, but you didn't show up to it, so
And that's on me.
But,
and,
writer's room for 3 hours is
that's
probably
also
more
pretty-
valuable.
Yeah, that's probably more
Yeah,
valuable,
that's
to be fair.
it's helpful. Although it'll be good to be like not in the hotel room.
Is it just you, or are you on a Zoom?
I'm on a Zoom with.
I like. There's
bunch of
8
people.
chairs in there, so
Oh,
you're
great.
basically going to be like on our conference table on
Yeah.
a Zoom.
But you could be in
and
it.
I'm just gonna sit there like
You could
this.
just sit. You could just sit in
can
the
hire
library.
in. You can hire in some.
Some actors
Yeah, just
to play
there's
writers.
plenty of them out there.
Perfect.
Just bring
Oh
them in.
yeah, I'll
Can
just
you-
pop by the.
Yeah, just
whoever's
go into the
working
gym
out.
and be like,
who's
"Can you
working
just-"
out right now?
Who is working
Anyone
out
fun?
right now?
Tom Glencarney's in there.
Okay.
Before he goes on
Love.
to all my sons.
He's the only actor that's in there right this moment
That's
in
very
time.
true.
Right, we'll try to nab him.
Yeah, I think he'd play a good writer.
Me too.
Can you explain a bit about writers' rooms? Because,
Yeah.
I think that's something that we hear a bit about
Mm-hmm.
through the people that come in here, but it's not.
We've
the
never
kind
been
of
in
thing-
one.
We've never been
Yeah.
in one. The only thing I know about is that it'd be interesting to know if in the States it's the same. So there's a writer that we spoke to on the podcast, and he was talking about how the food that they'll put in there and how you all just sat around this table all day, and it's like quite sugary stuff, sweet stuff, sandwiches, snacky things. And he's
Mm-hmm.
like, his brain was just like going up and down like that. Does that happen over there?
I have heard tell of in-person writers' rooms having a lot of snacks, and then people are just eating basically all day. We do the room on Zoom, so if you have sugary snacks around, you have no one to blame but yourself. And so when we did the room in person for 1 week for the season. Last year it was all on Zoom because we have writers all over the world who are on staff. So now it's on Zoom, and it's really fun. It sort of feels insane that it's a job because we basically just like make stuff up, and then we try to come up with what's the funniest thing that person could say or the situation to put them in. And then there's a writer's assistant who's taking notes on everything we say. So sometimes someone will say something insane and we'll be like, okay, let's make sure we wrote that down, we have fun with it,
and then you kind of formulate that into like
an outline, and then it goes to script. But it's really fun. I mean, it is cool to like work with funny people also because we're laughing a lot at work.
It would be great, wouldn't it? Just hanging around. I guess you have to kind of get on with everyone, but it's just sort of hanging around with your mates, talking nonsense a lot of the time.
I mean, Dave,
that's kind of what you guys do.
That anyway.
Yeah, but you have to make people like have great bodies too. We don't have that pressure.
You come out with the script.
You do that.
We do have a script to right.
Benny has to be in good shape.
Oh, and he takes that very seriously.
I would say in that show, it's kind of about that stage of people's lives where every kind of person is in the show and every kind of body is in the show. But there's at that age, because you're college kids, which it's the same as here, like 18, 19, 20 kind of age.
Yeah.
Is that right? There is a lot of pressure for people so you must have to kind of consider it a little bit in the writing.
Oh, for sure. I mean, also just being on camera, it's stressful. It's like you're picking yourself apart in every scene, and there's ones where you're like, oh, I feel like I looked bloated that day, and like I remember that, or like your hair looks, it's just, there's a lot. And I'm really like detail oriented, so I'm also like a freak about continuity and how does my hair look in this, whatever, like is the hair in front of the shoulder, behind, so there's just like so much to think about. And you're wearing clothes that like you wouldn't wear in real life, so it's the character, and you just have to be okay with that. Sometimes it's hard.
I bet. Do you find you have like a difference in routine from, because obviously we talked about you kind of have wear different hats, different jobs. Something we spoke about with other performers, people that are on stage, whether it's like stand-ups or musicians, singers, that kind of thing. It's like exercise when you're like touring and you're moving from city to city becomes quite an important part of the routine if you turn up on time.
Right. Yeah, if you don't miss the session.
Yeah, exactly. But like more from like a...
No, hey, bring it up as much as you want.
More from a mental health point of view when you're in that role, whereas I think when you're writing, if you're in that headspace and you're sitting down, it's more probably just physically moving and tiring yourself out in a different way. Yeah. Do you find that is how that affects you like that? Is that something you have to think about?
Yeah, it's definitely really different, like having the writer's room every day, Monday to Friday, because I have the like lifestyle of a freelancer. So usually if I like need to go to physical therapy or I have to do a training session, I can do it in the middle of the day when no one else is there. But then when you have something that blocks off all of your working hours, like you're going in, I have PT at like 8 a.m. So it's like, getting to Midtown for that is such like you're on such like a different level of energy when you have that during the day. And then if you have shows at night, so you're staying up late, you have to wake up early, and then you're doing like 15 things in a day, and making sure to fit in time to work out. It's just like a jam-packed schedule. Whereas when I'm just doing stand-up, it's like I basically have the whole day free and I can work out anytime. So I'm going to the gym rested. I'm not missing sessions, for example. And then when I'm touring, it's a whole different thing because you're just living out of a bag. You're working out when you can. And also like touring for me, it's pretty hard on the body, even though I'm like very still when I do stand-up. It's like the adrenaline, the nerves, you're up, 4 hours after the show because you have all that like build up. So with that, it's more about like nourishing, and I don't put as much pressure on myself to work out when I'm touring, because also just flying is so exhausting. You're in hotels. It's just not good for me to have to like also put that on top of all of it. But then when you're filming the show, you're in one place for like 3 to 4 months. So although the schedule changes day to day, you can really like, when I did last season, I was going to Pilates at like 6 a.m, just making sure to schedule that so that for the rest of the day I felt like good and energized.
But you've always fitted it in around what you're doing. So I think a lot of people kind of get to that point and they haven't necessarily considered it maybe, and then all of a sudden they're like, I feel exhausted or just feel like emotionally low.
Trying to add it in seems like a massive challenge.
It's crazy. I mean, I think for people who are leads, like, technically there's 4 leads in Overcompensating, but Benny's in like most scenes. So for him to have time to work out, it truly is like when it's still dark outside, but he's very diligent about that. For me, it's just about like really being strict with my calendar and knowing when everything starts and how long it takes to get places. So I'm Google mapping like the day before. Like even yesterday when I was planning to come here, because I had a meeting at 1, then doing the pod and then the writer's room. So I wanted to make sure I had time to get everywhere. But I also care about being late, whereas some actor types really
Do you
don't.
factor in, because obviously you were very proud when you walked in here that you had nailed your walk in 24 minutes instead of 35.
36. It's a
But
36 minutes.
Do you
Fuck you,
then
Google Maps.
look at Google
Yeah.
Maps and you go, okay, for a normal person that's a 35-minute walk, but for me,
For me,
Mary-Beth Barone.
I can shave some
Okay.
time off. I mean, I'm busting through the streets. When it's walkable, that's one thing because I know I can save at least 10 minutes. But when it's the tube, it's like you have
You've
to
got no
Jesus
control
take
there.
the wheel. It's like, will it be there or won't it? And then-
sometimes you will, sometimes you won't.
Yeah. But I don't like relying on that. If I can walk anywhere, I will. If it's like under an hour and I walk in LA, which people look at me like I'm insane. But if it's under an hour in LA, I'll usually walk. And in New York, I can get everywhere.
A lot of people do walk it, but in New York in particular, people, because everything's in such straight lines,
Yeah.
you kind of like, it doesn't make sense not to walk because you can pretty much see it.
Yeah.
And then you realize it's a 40-minute walk
Yeah,
to get
just
there.
in one straight line. It is wild.
As a British person going over, it's like it takes a moment to get used to that.
Yeah.
Because here,
You're like, oh, it's just there. I'll walk. And then
well,
you get there and you're
all
like,
your reference points are like, you turn that corner, then there's that thing there, and then
Oh
it's
my
there.
God, I
Whereas
know.
there, it's like you go down that road, then you go down that road.
it's on the corner
Yeah.
of this road and this road. Is
Right.
the thing that's just said everywhere.
Yeah.
On the
And you
corner
have
of
to
this road and this
kind
road.
of adapt and get a little bit used to that.
Well, I do adapt to London because it's sort of like if you took New York and you just smushed it and you let it all just
like-
like spread out. And so I didn't realize how far away everything is. And I learned a very specific area of London when I was dating Edward. And then now I've learned sort of the other areas too, which I feel good about because it took me a long time to learn the grid system in New York. I have a terrible sense of direction. So even living there, I was getting lost all the time. But now I'm pretty good.
Yeah, you get there.
Proud of that.
When you sort of mentioned that you were living in London for a little bit, and that is when we started training for season 1 of Overcompensating, which was then, there is quite a funny story involved in that. So you trained with us initially, and then I remember you saying, I've got to go to LA. I feel like you had the audition for it, and then you might come back, and then
Well,
you went.
I did a movie actually, an indie movie. That's when I was here first.
Yeah.
Well, all the actors around here that I knew were training here. And I feel like I came in a bit with Edward just to, like do some joint sessions and like stay active. But I was doing Soul Cycle at the time as well. But then I did a movie where I played an OnlyFans girl. And I knew I was going to have to be nude in it. Don't watch the movie though. And so I wanted to be snatched. And so I was coming in here. And then, of course, I asked for a recommendation of a trainer in LA.
Yeah.
And
And
you
this
were
was
like-
such a weird moment. So I then messaged a physio friend of ours who kind of like the physio equivalent of us in LA.
Yeah.
I was like, hey man, have you got anyone that you'd recommend? So he was like, yep, message this guy called JR. Spoke to him on FaceTime, I think it was. And it's like, you don't want to say people's names straight away because you want to get a gauge of what the person's like. And I was like, right, Vinny's recommended him. I'm sure he's great.
Yeah.
And then maybe like 5 or 10 minutes in, there was just a sense of that we were both knew who we were talking about.
Yeah.
And it turned out that JR was Benny's trainer, and that you'd probably already trained with him, and he'd met you or
I'd
something
never
like
met
that.
him.
You never
no,
met
I
him?
never had. I was always because I was in LA like here and there back then, and now obviously I go there all the time, and I see JR every time I go out there. But Benny had told me about this guy he was working out with JR, and I was like, whoa, he sounds amazing. And then it turned out to be the same guy you recommended, so it was sort of
Yeah,
fate.
it was
written in
one of
the
those. I was like,
stars.
okay, well, this conversation we don't need to have it anymore.
Right.
I was like, basically, she's coming. She's going to be here at this time, and then
And that was very
it.
much a situation of going in at 5 a.m. like 3 or 4 times a week, just because, yeah, the schedule was insane on a set.
And did you get snatched?
I think I got I was like happy with the level of
Full
snatched.
disclosure, I'm not entirely sure what that means.
No.
So
We'll talk
And
about
also,
it after.
we won't be able to look because you're not allowed to watch the film anyway.
Can't watch the film.
Okay.
Yeah, I can send you the trailer though.
once.
we can
Yeah.
take your word for it.
And then that sort of you just I think also the like routine of it is good when you're on set because it's so chaotic and you're really at the whims of the production and the schedule. So having time to just go and work out for 1 hour, I think is really good for me.
Well, that's the life I'm living at the moment. I'm the guy telling them what time to turn up.
Oh my gosh!
Yes,
And
yeah.
you have to work around the production schedule too.
So I sit with the ADs every night
Oh,
and I go, hey
wow.
guys, so when can I get so and so in tomorrow?
that's
And
fun though.
Yeah, but you're basically your own AD at the moment.
I'm my own AD.
Yeah, which is fun. Do you send yourself a call sheet?
I do every
Okay,
night.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
every
nice.
night with locations and how
Pick up.
long it takes to get there.
And it takes 20. Google Maps says 32 minutes, but then you in brackets it like a little pink
18.
highlighter, 18 for
Yeah,
me. Yeah,
exactly.
It won't take you any minutes to get from here to your writer's room, though.
No,
Nice.
I'm so happy.
Cool. Well, it might take a little while to open up that weird door.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave you guys to that.
Yeah.
Do you find that when you haven't trained, or when you're really busy, that then starts to kind of like weigh on you a little bit in terms of like, are you one of those people that gets a bit anxious about it or a bit kind of stressed and tense?
Yeah.
So I definitely have that. It's like if I've not moved around enough, I think you're talking about there, like travel schedules and all that kind of stuff where you get tired, you miss
You have to
session,
let
all this
yourself
stuff.
off, basically.
It's hard. It's such a like mental thing, but what's nice for me is I did get a dog last year, and so as annoying as it is sometimes in the winter to have to go outside and take her for a walk, it really keeps me moving, which is good. It's tougher with travel because I don't always bring her with me, but sometimes I do. And when I do, I'm like, I have to force myself to leave the hotel because she needs to go for a walk.
Yeah.
So that's actually been a good thing and definitely like improved my lifestyle. But I do walk so fast that it feels like I'm getting some energy out, which is good.
Can
But
the dog keep up? She's quite little.
Oh yeah,
You have a tiny dog.
she's tiny, but she walks so fast. I've taught her well. I trained her for that, and so I think it is tough because you don't want it to get to a level that's unhealthy where you're like making yourself feel guilty for not being able to work out. But I used to have this like horrible sense of guilt when I would say I was going to work out and then not do it, and so now I've let that go a little bit because I know that if I can get there physically, like even this morning, like I don't feel guilty for missing the session. Like I feel guilty that I had scheduled it, but I'm not like, feeling like a pit in my stomach because I'm like, oh, I said I was going to work out and I didn't.
Yeah.
So
but
that's,
I think with you clearly have like a good routine and you do you've got like a lot of variance in terms of what you're doing when you exercise.
Yeah.
So you have obviously like your Pilates, speed walking,
of course.
and it's well-rounded in that sense. So you kind of know that if you've missed something, it's not the be-all and end-all. Because some people, it's like, right, I have this one moment in the week, and there's a lot of pressure on that.
Yeah.
And also from our side of things, there's a lot of pressure on that. Because when you know that there's like one window.
They're
Yeah.
also paying you a lot of money, and this is their hour.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
therapy for them as well.
My
It's
God,
tough.
yeah. You guys hear a lot of stuff, I'm
We
sure.
do. I mean, we hear as much in here sometimes as we do in there, but
Yeah.
it's
Apart from this goes out to everyone.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got a story, but I do hear people in the gym sort of like, spilling their guts,
100%.
especially because my trainer in New York, whose name is Taya, and she's wonderful. I think she actually
She's
came
actually
in.
come in. Yeah, we've
she
met her.
came in
She's
when you
great.
guys were at the previous
We've
location.
also sent clients to her.
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
New York.
she's great, and she has a studio space now, and it's just me and her.
It looks
So I bring
very
my
nice.
dog. She hangs out, and then we talk about everything. So she knows a lot of stuff about me.
Yeah, you got to stay friends with your trainers.
Don't burn that bridge.
No, 100%.
But do you guys
We have a secret
do you
file.
gossip though? I feel like some trainers have loose lips.
I've heard them.
But you
But
don't
yeah, we
subscribe.
There's no need to gossip.
We'd be out of business so fast.
Yeah.
Because like
Too
it is
much of our
everybody
Well,
like
you guys are scheduling too. You have exes coming in. You want to make sure they're not bumping up against each other.
There is a bit of that.
that has been tricky in the past.
Yeah.
We've messed it up maybe once or twice. It's been a
But
couple of Orkies moments, but
Hopefully
Keys moment.
it's only awkward because you said Aki's
Yeah,
moments.
that's why it made it awkward.
And you brought the attention back to you, which is good. But yeah, that must be tough. I guess like with most of the people I've dated, if I saw them at the gym, it would be no big deal. But not everyone can say that.
No, 100%. And I think we err on the side of caution, for sure. Unless someone's, because it has happened where people have gone, I don't want to be there when they're there, which is
Yeah.
quite funny,
Oof.
but also gives us a
oh,
nice...
it's hard though when people then start rescheduling things.
Yeah.
And you try and be like, oh, there's a space that can work, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh,
Ooh, that wasn't a good idea. Luckily, we have a big enough space now as well that we can kind of...
that's
But
what's
you-
happening
You can
now.
train in here.
We were supposed to do the podcast out there, but then we can't
Yeah.
because there's
Oh,
too many.
interesting.
All of your
there are too many
exes are
exes
out.
All my
out there.
exes came.
Yeah.
I told them not to. Whatever.
So Benny's looking after them all.
Yeah, he does that. He
Yeah.
babysits them for me. Keeps them in line.
Is there any part of like the writing then for Overcompensating? Because obviously, like Benny's character is, you said it before, is like a kind of jock, sporty guy.
Mm-hmm.
Are there parts of it like workout scenes and like bits of talk about that? Because
Yeah.
that's quite like a kind of charged environment, isn't it? At that age in particular, like all the boys and the girls going to university gyms, or in this
Yeah.
country it is.
No, for sure.
I don't know what it's like in America, but
Very,
in this country
very
it
that.
definitely
It's a
is.
niche thing to
There's a
direct.
lot of very funny things that happen. I got a very funny story from when our friend, who's now quite like, I say he's really into training. So he's my old housemate, Tristan. We'll name
Yes,
him. He
he
probably
is.
never listens to this, but Tristan Simmons, who then got really into CrossFit. But when he first started going to the gym, there was a moment where he was doing some push-ups, and it came to the second round, and it was like his arms were on the floor and his feet went up onto a box, and then it's like his arms just gave up completely.
What?
And he full on like face planted into the ground, but it was such like a cheek on rubber noise
Ugh.
that it was like a
heard it.
real clap. And then like several people turned around, and by that point he was already like face flat up down.
He was just going way too hard.
He wasn't though. He just was like, it was like there was nothing there.
Okay.
Like he was at such a low starting point that it was actually quite easy.
I love the relevance of that story. Just outing
Well, yes, it's good to talk about other people's embarrassing moments.
Yeah.
And that's
So
what
that
comes
you
up
can-
in the writer's room too, is like we're really telling our most embarrassing college stories, and then we see if there's like any detail we can pull from it to make it work for the show. But there's a scene in the first season where Benny's going to get a fake ID from Peter, who is my boyfriend in the show, Grace's boyfriend, and they're lifting weights, and every time Peter puts the weights up, he says, "Fuck you." Fuck you. And it's sort of under his breath. It's like one of those small moments. And then when he's getting the ID out of the bag, he takes about 15 different receptacles for liquid out of the gym bag. So it's details like that, I think, that are so fun to think of and write into the show. And then I think there's going to be a lot more athletic focused scenes without giving away too much this season.
Yeah, I think those things are so funny though, because you watch it and like we were in sports teams at that age, and you know those characters, and there are those people that have like a bottle for this, a bottle for that,
So you
like
just
5
take it
different
far too
protein
seriously.
things.
Yeah.
Like they're training all the time.
And all the
It's
powders
like,
and
and have to psych themselves up by saying "fuck,
fuck
you"
you
every rep.
every
there was
breath.
definitely people in our university gym
100%.
a lot like that.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
the guy. Do you remember the guy that used to rap in front of the
Yes.
mirror? He'd put headphones in, and he would wear like he'd only wear like the tops that you're supposed to wear under another top.
Sure.
like that tight.
Compression tops.
Yeah.
And then it was so weird. And I was like 18, and I'd be like, excuse me, can I?
But
and
that's such a type,
just
though.
rapping to himself in the mirror.
There's
like
the ones that
loudly.
like shadow box in between each set. That's a weird thing to do.
Yeah.
Like you're not a boxer.
No.
Why are you doing that?
No
Yeah.
need.
No need.
All these
People at
things
the
would be
gym
great.
are, I mean, even as adults, it's fascinating to watch.
Mm.
I haven't gone to like a gym like I was a member at Equinox for a while, but I haven't gone to one of those in a while, and it's just but I'm remembering there's so many different like gym archetypes, and it's like people go there to see and be seen, and I get it. It's like it's a good spot, especially I guess for gay guys to meet people, from
Yeah.
what I understand. But yeah, people are like in full glam at the gym
That's
and like
hilarious.
body hugging outfits, which fully support. But yeah, it's fun people watching.
It's definitely changed a lot in the last few years, hasn't it? Like what you wear to the gym. I think the general culture has shifted a lot. So there's more people are training, and it's
The outfit is
more
important.
acceptable to be walking around day to day in gym gear.
Yeah.
So now it is really like people put some serious thought into what they're wearing when they're coming in.
Kim Kardashian just raised a ridiculous sum of money for Skims because it's teamed up with Nike.
Oh, I heard about
And now
that.
they're doing like
Yeah.
all of the under the compression stuff for all of the female sports. So they,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's like a $5 billion company now.
Wow.
Well, I'm just
Insane.
glad because she was struggling. So it's
She
good for
needed-
her to be
needed a
making
leg
some
up.
deals.
We'll go back to the GQ.
Yes.
GQ Man of the Year dinner. They don't call it an awards show anymore. It's a dinner.
But what
better that way.
are you handing out awards? Or are you kind of like performing there in a way, and then that's
We do like an opening monologue, and then we introduce this. So there's like 10 to 15 people that are getting honored as Men of the Year, including Benny and I. But we're one, so it takes one gay guy and one bi girl to be a Man of the Year.
Is that it?
Yeah,
That's something I've always
that's
said.
the math that we figured out. And then there's 3 cover stars: Skepta, Cynthia Erivo, and Pierce Brosnan. So
So Cynthia a Man of the Year then?
yeah,
great.
so there's men and women who are Men of the Year.
Is there a women? Do they do? Because
No,
GQ's a
GQ's
man's
a
magazine.
yeah.
I get what. Okay, now that.
But
makes
it's
more
like
sense.
it's like, you know,
So
it's more of just like a
celebrating
term.
people.
Person
It's
of
an
the year,
umbrella
yeah.
term. And then they'll have people that do like toasts to them who they've either worked with before or they're close to. So we'll introduce those people. Then they get the actual like awards for the night, I guess. So, but they already know going into it.
Okay.
So I went to the German one last year
Oh,
because Nick got the German Man of the Year. My friend Nick Holt, who's been on the podcast. Good
Famous
friend of ours.
German
absolute
man.
legend.
But
Yeah.
But I just love the fact that he hasn't got the
German
English one.
We didn't get America. In America, we don't matter at all.
Yeah, because that was only last week, right? The American one. Yeah, so Nick got the German one. So I sat there next to him at the table and witnessed all of these.
Was it all
toasts
in
and-
German?
No, luckily.
Okay.
It was all in English, weirdly. But yeah, I can't remember who the other Men of the Year were, but they were all either English or American. So I don't know why we did it in Germany or why the relevance of the German GQ was. I'm sure
Would you say that you guys have more of a following here then? Is that why you've?
I I think our following is biggest in the States, but I think we do have a lot of people here that listen to the pod and have
All
seen
of
the
my
show.
female cousins, which we've spoken about before.
And I love them dearly.
Yeah.
And please,
You know them by
please,
name.
yes, I do. I won't say them all, but I know all of their
they
names.
could not believe.
Because the order would be favoritism, and then we
Right,
can,
and then that
Mary-Beth
would
Barone
create
did a little
awkwardness.
video, and I was like, for weeks, getting messages about how shocked and pleased they were.
Well, and we love that, and the girlies are definitely our target demo. But I think the one in America, I don't know that they do a dinner. I think it's just a party.
Yeah.
So if they wanted two clowns to come in, bring the circus,
jokes,
and
yeah.
then say some jokes, like yes, we're available.
And what are we talking outfits wise? Is that quite a part of what's going to happen?
Do you have changes?
So I do have a dress to potentially change into at the after party, but I wouldn't do it right away because I want everyone to see the dress that I'm wearing to the main event, which is an Alaya dress that is almost completely sheer, but I have 20-inch hair extensions
Amazing.
to have in the front. So
Very cool.
I can still post on Instagram because you're not allowed to have nipples out on
Oh, so
Instagram.
that's
Which is weird.
strategic
It's
hair
strategic.
placement.
It's styling. That's my stylist, Kat DePaldo. She thought of that. So, because otherwise you can like wear like pasties, but then you look kind of like an alien with no nipples.
You wear those like sticker things, and then
Yeah,
it's
and
weird
I
because
just
you can
because
still
you can see that
yeah.
it's a sticker. So you go, well,
Yeah.
there's a nipple under
There's
there.
this- yeah.
So we're just gonna say
So
yes.
will Kat be running on when particular images need to be taken to make
to
sure
just
that
style the hair.
make
I think
sure
I'm
the
gonna have
hair is
Benny
in
on that
place?
duty because Kat is in America, so
Can't do that on Zoom.
can't do that.
That's a
no,
tricky one.
remotely.
The mention of wardrobe malfunction seems a nice time to bring this part of the podcast up. So we have the section
Yes.
called Humbled in Hollywood, where we ask our guests to share a moment. Because from the outside, if you kind of like a fan of yours and you see what happens on Instagram and all the rest of it, and hosting GQ party, not
I
awards.
feel like we're really it's like this is basically what you do for a living.
Yeah.
Is you tell in a very glamorous way. You tell a story about you doing something silly,
Yep.
and that's what we try and get
Which
our
I do all
guys
the
that
time.
normally hide all the silly
Yeah.
stuff they do.
So
Whereas you actually,
this
so it's
could
almost
be-
like a best of.
Right. I
this
mean,
could be
I'm
an
an
hour-long,
open
this
book.
section.
I'm an open book. Ask me anything. Actors are so interesting in the way that they do like have to really protect that side of their personal lives. Whereas for me and Benny, it's like we're literally writing all of our trauma into TV shows, movies, stand up, and talking about it on the podcast. So we have many different outlets for being embarrassing.
What would be your favorite ones that you'd like to share with us?
It's basically a writer's room we're doing right now.
Yeah, we're just pitching. Well, you had texted me earlier to prepare. So I was thinking of like, what's something that I felt really embarrassed of after. And I did remember I had to audition to play, it was a one scene part to play a stripper in a TV show. And so whenever you get an audition that either has intimacy, which is like kissing, fingering, sex, anything like that, like you are like, how am I going to choreograph this so that it reads in a self-tape or in the audition or whatever. This was to play a stripper, and it was like while this character was actively giving a lap dance, she has to deliver 2 lines. So auditions in general, and this was pre-COVID, so it was all in person. So I worked with an audition coach to like figure out what the moves were going to be, but essentially you're giving a lap dance to an empty chair.
I was going to say, and that it's just a chair.
It's
obviously.
just the chair.
Well, if one of the guys that were auditioning you were to sat in it would be a very different audition and
totally different situation.
would have left.
But less awkward in a way than
Maybe,
doing a
yeah.
lap dance to a chair.
Genuinely,
A folding chair too, metal. So
That's the worst chair.
it's like making it's like it was really
moving.
it was not great. And oh my god, they made us wear a wired microphone too, so that got tangled.
a lot to
Obviously.
think about.
It was so much to think about. So I remember just walking there and being like, I probably won't book this, but I'm going to just give it my all. So I did it once. And then I was like, we were all just kind of staring at each other. And I was like, should I do it again? And they were like, well, I guess it doesn't really make sense to have you come in and do it once. That was the casting director. And I was like, great. I love that energy. So then I did it one more time. And then I was like, thank you. And I just left. But I felt pretty embarrassed after that. I didn't book, and they have video of me doing that twice.
And they
You would have thought, if you're the casting director, it's a really vulnerable thing to be doing, isn't it? It's not something that like to be that mean about. Like,
it was crazy. I mean, I don't even. Yeah, some casting directors obviously know that they have a very unique position in the industry, and I think. Yeah, I don't even remember who the casting director was, but I remember leaving being like, I wonder if I'll ever see them again.
yeah.
Ever in my whole career.
or want to.
Or want to. Yeah. I think Lucas Gage if you remember back in the pandemic, he had a Zoom audition and the director came on and didn't know he wasn't muted and like insulted the room he was in, and it went crazy viral. It was like, God, these actors just live in these boxes. Like, look at that room. And I think it was maybe a good wake up call for that side of the business to be like, oh, they are people.
Yeah.
And
I put a lot of like thought, a lot of time into it most of the time.
yeah, because at least I try to.
Yeah.
And he handled it really well. He was like, then give me the part and I'll get a better place, you know?
Yeah.
And then he did post it, which I just finished his book, which was fabulous. And he talks about posting that and how he felt so like, should I post it? Is it a bad look to do that? But I think it was really good for people to see that because there is so much humiliation involved in our day-to-day lives.
I think that like we've spoken about it a lot, haven't we? And one of the reasons why people like to maybe come in here if they're not working at the moment is to kind of get out of their own heads, because a lot of actors can go through huge periods where it's like might be 6, 7, 8 months of that is essentially all that's happening to them.
Yeah.
So they'll kind of like see some friends, submit some auditions, get told no, people are quite rude to them.
Yeah.
And that's their job for like, it'd be horrible, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, at least
it's
for
an
our
insane
job,
thing
someone's
to
going to
do.
say something
No,
nice
but,
to you at
like,
some point.
Yeah.
They're almost seen as the lucky ones that are actually getting the auditions and occasionally getting yeses. Like there's a whole bunch of people that are not even getting tapes, and it's like that. The pressure to feel privileged to have the tape in the first place is one thing, and then the power. Like there's so many in that industry. There's so many different people that think they have like power, but there's 100 per show. There's like 100 people that think they're like the top dog of whatever they're doing. So, and how that power is abused is so interesting to watch.
Well, it's a lot of social politics, and also learning just like as a comedian, when I go into these rooms and these spaces, like I'm always leading with humor because it's like a defense mechanism, but it's also like what I'm good at. So I'm like, sometimes you get that back from the people, and then sometimes it is just like you're getting nothing. And it's hard to navigate, and being on set, it is so vulnerable, and you're like, a lot of the time the scenes are, if they're emotional or if there's nudity or whatever it is, like I think they are a lot more mindful now on sets of like where the actors' headspace is in those moments, but it's a lot of rejection, it's a lot of being embarrassed, and it's a lot of just trying to find spaces to feel like safe. And I think what's nice about the gym, especially here, is like you do feel that, and you can like say anything, and you have that relationship with the trainers, because now I've known you guys for like 4 years at this point.
It is nice now that you're kind of coming back and forth, but not as much as you used to be, but it's still every now and again there'll be a message like, hey, we're coming into town. And now we've got Benny's part of the ensemble.
He's in the
as
rotation.
Well. Will you ever travel separately now?
No. What's the point?
Have you got like favorite seat numbers that you regularly get?
Well, the favorite seat numbers, of course, is in Delta One.
Of course.
Any of the numbers in Delta One would be the favorite. And what's nice about that is you might be next to each other, but you can sort of like zone out.
Are they the facing ones or the same?
Is Delta
That's
One
the
like
best case
is that
scenario.
Some fancy
It's like the first class, business class thing in Delta. But usually I'm flying that if like someone else is paying for
100%.
it. So
see, I'm just happy because in my family, my first name's Dave, then my wife's initial is E, my son is F.
Okay.
Quite often you'll get D, E, and F.
Yeah.
But then we had a second child, and it's absolutely
You fucked it.
Yeah, you screwed it.
Yeah.
One time I flew here from New York, and I was in the aisle seat. There were 2 children in the middle in the window. The parents were on the other side. And
they wouldn't swap with you?
Oh no, so the kid. Oh no, they didn't even want to. They wanted me to sit next to the kids.
You're basically the nanny.
Yeah, and they're passing stuff back and forth, iPads, snacks, juices. I'm like, you guys are genius, because like you don't have to worry about what they're doing, because obviously they're fine, and I'm an adult and I'm right here. But it was kind of like they cracked the code, and I was like, I'm gonna take that, jot that down. It's a way.
How old were the kids?
They got very lucky.
4 and 7.
Oh, that's not at least like if they're a little bit. Maybe.
They got very lucky that you were sitting there.
Yeah, I think anyone else might have been kind of annoyed. They were very well-behaved kids, though.
Nice.
But it was just funny to see that. Like, oh, I guess you guys, sure, yeah. I'm Mary-Beth, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
Nice to meet you.
They're like, this lady, she'll do.
Yeah.
She's nice. She seems fine.
She's able-bodied.
What's coming up next for you? So obviously there's an absolute ton of stuff by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Are we going to see more of you over here? Will you be in London for anything?
Depends.
Or are we going to have to
We'll see how tomorrow night goes.
Yeah, you might get like a tour.
An offer to do something would be nice. So up next, so we're in the room till the end of the year. And then
in the writing room.
In the writer's room. We call it the room for short. And then in the winter, in the new year, I'll be touring all across America. And I'm going to Vancouver as well. I'm not coming here as of now, but that could change. And then I'm doing my Netflix special in March.
Wow.
So filming that in New York,
That's
which is
pretty
exciting. Yeah, an hour of stand-up for Netflix.
How does that
theatre?
come about? Sorry.
No. We're both asking questions. We're very
Which
interested.
theater? It's called NYU Skirball. It's a very beautiful theater in Greenwich Village.
Amazing.
How does it work with the specials? So like, obviously you get a lot of the Netflix stand-up specials. So they film just one night, or do they do multiple
It's 2
nights?
shows. It depends on the person. Like sometimes someone will do like 5 shows over like 3 nights. But for me, I'm going to do 2 shows in one night. We'll film both. And then whichever one is, the better performance, we'll use like most of that. But usually, inevitably, there's things from the other show that you then want to like edit into the one that you end up using.
I never really thought about that it's like, because it's, I assume when you're a stand-up, every night is a bit different because you're kind of interacting with the people, obviously. But you have a routine or a script or something.
Yeah.
You've got like a system that you're going through, right? But then I've never really thought that if it's a Netflix special, it's probably over a few nights and it's like bits pulled in, because there might be something that didn't work the first night.
Or you forget. Like I did a special for YouTube, and I remember we definitely tried to like Frankenstein it in a way that made us almost lose our minds, because instead of just being like, okay, the Late Show was better, but we need these 3 jokes from the early show, because actually for the Late Show for the early show, I'd forgotten a tag on a joke that we really wanted. But instead, we looked at each joke specifically and we're like, which one was better? And I will never do that again, because the edit was like, it was like mind numbing. I was like, I never want to hear my voice ever again.
Yeah,
Do you know what
yeah.
you could do though? You could
Use
do it
AI.
You could do that, or you could do it like Beyonce and wear like yellow one night and purple the other night, and like, have it like tied
That
in with
was
the
cool.
music.
Well,
That
so
was cool.
Adam Sandler did a special where he did, I think it was from like a whole tour of shows.
Right.
And so that was so obvious that it was all different.
Yeah.
But yeah, Beyonce is sort of my guiding light as far as
course.
performance
That's
style.
what I thought.
Yeah, that's why I'm moving around up there. I have my choreo, I'm flipping my hair and wearing cowboy boots.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing your training in your heels on the treadmill just to make sure you
to make sure.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. There needs to be the documentary about, she had like parts of her training in it, so we'll make the whole documentary, and that's how we shoehorn our way into this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to make a documentary about the making of a stand-up special. there is so much that goes into it, and it's like it's
it
really
would be funny as well.
It's a crazy process.
You could semi-script it and have it like a bit of
mockumentary
a, like
style.
The Office.
I know. I wish I had all the money in the world to just make everything. But maybe
Also
if the
time to
special
write
blows up,
everything.
we can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
And when does Overcompensating to happen?
That will start filming early next year.
Great.
Exciting.
And I haven't been told where. If we're going back to where we were last time, or if we'll do it in a new city.
Did you film it on a campus, like an actual
We
college
did in
campus?
Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was a studio, of course.
Especially for like people like us watching things like that, where American or like college campuses look such a thing.
Yeah.
I guess you'd have to have built one.
Well, this was a Canadian
Right.
campus.
This was Canadian, but it's similar architecture. But yes, it is slightly different in Canada.
In general, it is.
We had to bring in, our own flags and all that stuff.
Well, Trump wants to do that full time, so.
I know. Oh, yeah. I was waiting for you guys to bring him up.
No, we wouldn't. We would.
I just love that at the moment. Is it big news in America that he's suing the BBC for $5 billion?
Yeah. He's suing like 1 million people.
sues-
$5 billion is just, considering the BBC is paid for by us,
Yeah.
not just us.
No, just you
as
guys
the
that work
public.
here.
These
Wouldn't that be wild?
I
Anyway,
think he's
this-
suing Wall Street Journal for $10 billion. If
He's
that
just
makes
going
you
at
feel any
everyone and just
better.
thinking one of these will come off.
Right. Well, he did win a suit against Disney, I think.
Yeah.
He's won a few of them. That's
But also,
the
if he
problem.
keeps pointing outwards, it's hard for people to point back at him.
Yeah.
Maybe we should sue. Should we sue him?
Sue the Donald Trump administration.
I'd like to try.
Yeah, I want to sue him too. I don't even know what for yet, but
There's plenty of reasons.
We could come together as a collective, so we'll get in all the big names that we all know.
Yes, and we'll all sue.
And we'll
It's like
all
a
sue
class
him.
action
But
Yeah.
we'll like suing for just being a dick.
for me. Yeah, I wish that was illegal in America.
Bad use of fake tan or something.
Yeah,
That should be illegal.
the hair is illegal. Just the vibes in general.
And the posture.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's illegal.
and knocking down the rose garden at the White House. I took that personally.
Yeah, but
They paved it with cement.
Have they actually?
he's building
Yeah.
a giant.
I saw they just
ballroom,
knocked a big chunk of it down, but I didn't
Well, they're
realise
building a ballroom
which is
for tens of millions, maybe even hundreds of millions.
But you might get asked to host some awards there. So.
Well, there was there used to be the White House Correspondents' Dinner that a comedian would host every year, and then Michelle Wolf hosted it and like roasted. That's the whole point: is a comedian comes and like roasts the media and the administration. And Trump was obviously in power, and that was the last time they did that. So
Hilarious.
they just can't. They can dish it, but they can't take it.
Yeah, totally. Well, on that
Classic
note,
bully.
Classic bully.
on that
Yeah,
note,
we
we'll,
hate
On that
him.
note, yeah.
we'll just wrap.
This is too sad
So
to keep going.
thank you for having
Definitely
me.
definitely the weirdest end to the podcast we've ever had.